Hello, my fellow handicappers. This is Weekend Handicapper. In this video, we're going to provide picks and analysis for the 2022 Belmont Stakes at Belmont Park. This race is going to be run on Saturday, June 11th, race number 11, post time approximately around 6:44 Eastern time. Now, this Belmont might lack some star power, but it could be an interesting race, an interesting betting race. There's different opinions about this year's Belmont, but hey, we're going to handicap it and try to make some money from it nevertheless. So it's going a mile in. The race is a mile and a half, a true test of stamina. A couple things to know about the Belmont race historically. It doesn't favor closers historically. Of course, closers can win, but as a whole, you want a horse near the front of the lead, either on the lead or right behind the lead, that kind of pressing kind of pace right off the leaders. What's very interesting about this particular edition of the Belmont is that you have a lot of closers in this race, and a lot of your more well-known horses, such as Rich Strike, who won the Kentucky Derby, and muldonico, who's another one of your low odds horses, they're closers. So you're going to have quite a few closers in this race, which anytime you have that situation, one of the first questions you want to ask yourself is, do those horses who are closers have enough pace to close in on? I'm not sure that they do in this race, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't eliminate those horses necessarily. It's just they have the race doesn't set up as well for them. So let's go through each of these horses. Let's talk about each of these horses, and I'll give you my picks and how I'm going to bet this year's Belmont Stakes at the very end. Going back to the pace real quick, though, many times, and this is something I'm going to be looking for, watching out for, when you do have a field comprised of a lot of closing horses whose preferred running style is closing. Sometimes the jockeys know this, and then they try to get their horse more near the front of the lead than what it suggests the race shape on paper is going to be. Therefore, it kind of throws out the pace handicapping. So it's going to be interesting if these horses such as Rich Strike, muldonico, Barber Road, Golden Glitter, or Golden Gladder, I should say, if they choose to hang back like normal, or do they force the issue a little bit because they know there's not much speed up front? So it's going to be interesting to see if the jockeys do their own thing and that is contrary to what shows on the past performances. All right, so post position number one. Your first horse is your morning line favorite, and that is We the People, trained by Rodolphe Brissett. Flavien Prat's he might be the top jockey right now in North America. He's riding great. If you just handicap jockeys alone, if that's something that you factor in your handicapping, then definitely you want to be a fan of Flavien Prat because he's just riding lights out. This horse has won at Belmont, demolished the field, earned a huge speed figure, which is, I'm sure, it's playing into one of the reasons to be the morning line favorite. It's the winner of the Peter Pan, which that's the race at Belmont that it just won. It didn't fare so well in the Arkansas Derby. It came in 7th, but definitely a contender. And what else makes this horse a contender is its early speed. So if you're trying to play the percentages, and if you're looking for an early speed horse that seems to do pretty well in the Belmont races, then definitely this horse. You got the really good jockey. It performed really well last time out, but it might bounce, it might regress, and at 2-1 or lower, that might not be a good bet. Number 2, Skippy Longstocking. Love the name. I'm going to have a hard time betting this horse. Finished 5th in the Preakness. It's a good long shot if you want to try to use a horse at good odds. This horse is 21 morning line. It's good to use in the third and fourth position, maybe in like Superfectas, just to try to catch a price, but I don't see it factoring in any higher than that, unless for some reason it doesn't have much pace pressure up front. Number 3, Ness, for trainer Todd Pletcher. Now, Todd Pletcher won the Belmont with Rags to Riches. I remember sitting there eating my Papa John's pizza when Rags to Riches won way back when. And this horse came in second in the Kentucky Oaks. Certainly a talented filly. So can a filly win this year's Belmont? I think she's definitely a contender. I think she won't have any problem going the distance. I think the running style is what you want for the Belmont. It's just, can she handle this kind of competition? I think so. At 8-1 morning line, got a good trainer that knows how to win these big stakes races. I have faith in Jose Ortiz. He just won the Preakness Stakes, a big race, a Triple Crown race. So I certainly think at 8-1, Nest is a true player, a true contender. Number 4, Rich Strike. Still not buying into the Rich Strike hype. Yeah, it was a great story. A long shot won, all those little things. But the reason I bet on horses, the reason I watch horse racing is because I want to win money. And I don't think at 7-2 or lower, especially with this horse's running style, it's a closer. Again, it won't have anything to close in on. You see, I'm going to get that pace set up that Rich Strike had in the Kentucky Derby. People talking about its workouts, getting excited, but still, I think Rich Strike's going to have to prove me wrong again, and I'm still not have faith in Rich Strike, and I'm still not a believer in Rich Strike, even though it won the Kentucky Derby. He won the Kentucky Derby. I know people get on me for saying it when I talk about horses. He won the Kentucky Derby. So I'll pass. I'm going to play against that. Hopefully the public will overbet this horse because it won the Kentucky Derby and they love them some Rich Strike. So please bet this horse so the odds on other horses that have a better chance, in my opinion, increase. Number 5, Creative Minister. I tried to use this horse in my Preakness Exotics. Came in third. I was hoping it'd come in second, but it's been a consistent horse. It's been firing some good speed figures. It's definitely has a chance here, just whether or not it could get the distance, that long kind of 1.5 miles, whether or not this horse will like Pimlico, whether or not this horse could compete against these other horses. But at 6-1, if you like this horse, I can't blame you for taking the shot. Number 6, muldonico, trained by Todd Pletcher. 5-2 morning line. This is one of my Derby horses. It didn't close in like I thought. Probably had some traffic trouble, but I doubt if it would have won. But I was hoping it finished a little better than 5th. I was a little disappointed in that 5th place finish in the Kentucky Derby. But it's won at Belmont. And the other time muldonico raced at Belmont, it came in 3rd. So shouldn't have a problem liking this track. Got a great trainer, knows how to win these big time Triple Crown races. Irad Ortiz Jr., wonderful jockey. That shouldn't be an issue. Just whether or not this horse could close in. I think of all the closers, this is the one that is the most talented. This is the one that more than likely can win the Belmont Stakes. Just whether or not it can catch up to these early front runners and have pace to close in. Can it close in on We the People or Ness, these horses that should get out to the front end? I wouldn't be so shocked if it would be a Todd Pletcher Exacta, the Ortiz brothers jockey Exacta box. So I can definitely see Nest and muldonico being the top 2 finishers. I could definitely see Todd Pletcher being 1-2 in this year's Belmont, and the Ortiz brothers running 1-2 in this year's Belmont. Another closer is number 7, Golden Glider, trained by Mark Cassie. This horse came in second, behind, a far distance behind We the People during the Peter Pan. But it did come in second. Peter Pan's a consistent horse, but it's a long shot. That's a closer. I think it's going to be up against it here. Number 8, Barber Road, another closer. Another closer. This horse still has a lot to prove to me in my eyes. You know, it had a nice little run there. It's been consistent now. Kentucky Derby came in 6th, so you can't fault that in the Kentucky Derby. But other than that, it's finished in the top 2, top 3, in almost every race that it ran except that first maiden race way back when. So this is a consistent horse. Certainly use it in your exactas, trifectas, superfectas because it just seems so consistent. All right, now, how am I going to bet this year's Belmont Stakes? Again, I think you want to look for horses that are near the front of the pace or sitting off the pace. So that gives an advantage to We the People, Skippy Longstocking, and Nest, and maybe Creative Minister. Now, Skippy Longstocking, I just don't think has the talent to stay up there to win the race. Number 1, We the People, is going to be the favorite, so I always try to naturally beat the favorite. So that's why I give the best chance of the early pace setters to number 3, Nest. Hopefully that filly can hang up front, get the distance, time it just right, hold off these closers, and win the 2022 Belmont Stakes. Now, your more popular, well-known horses are closers. So, such as number 4, Rich Strike, is going to be closing in. Number 6, Muldonico, a big name, trained by a big barn, that was in the Kentucky Derby that many people liked. Those horses, such as Muldonico, Rich Strike, Barber Road, they're going to be closing in, but do they have enough pace to close in on? It all, to me, it depends on what kind of value you're getting, what kind of odds you're getting, whether or not that's worthy of taking a chance. Or you think a horse like Rich Strike is that good. You think a horse like Muldonico is that good. It doesn't matter how many early pace horses. You think your horse is talented enough to mow them down, to beat them when all's said and done, catch up with them and close in on them. But usually, to me, pace makes the race. Usually, pace handicapping typically prevails. Now, I can only speculate by the past performances. Again, like I said early on in this video, these jockeys might have a different mindset and more might go to the front than what the past performances suggest. They might know, I'm sure they know, there's not going to be much pace, early pace in this race, so there might press the issue a little bit. But I think this Belmont sets up for a decent price. I think the best shot at good odds would be number 3, Nest. Hopefully her running style is the right running style. Hopefully she's prepared. Hopefully she could keep improving off that Kentucky Derby or Kentucky Oaks second place finish. And hopefully she can beat the boys. Now, I do think there's a strong possibility that this could be a Todd Pletcher Belmont Exacta, the 3 and the 6, Muldonico and Nest. I do think that the Ortiz brothers could finish 1-2 in this year's Belmont Stakes. So if you want to get a little fancy, if you want to get a little bit more exotic, play some Exactas, I like the box at 3 and number 6. And also you could play an Exacta part wheel with the 3-6 over the 1-3-5-6-8. Hopefully we can get some prices. I feel confident and we can get some prices. Hopefully Rich Strike we can keep out of the first 2 finishers. The only reason I'm using We the People is because it's running style. Hopefully it won't win because it's a favorite. I'm going to play against the favorites in the Belmont because I think higher prices could prevail. But I'm still going to use the number 1 in the place position or the second position in my Exactas. So that's what I think. Number 3 to win, 3 and 6 Exacta box, and got that little part wheel with some prices underneath, which include Creative Minister Barber Road, Muldonico, Nest, and We the People. So, who do you like in this year's Belmont Stakes? Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you hadn't already, I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you make money betting on thoroughbred horse racing. All right, until next time, this is Weekend Handicapper. Good luck on Belmont Day. Happy handicapping. Smart wagering.